Welcome back, artists. We're going to continue to explore insects as our subject in art. A subject is the main object in our artwork. Can you say that word with me? Subject. Remember, there are three main parts to an insect's body. Their head, this part's called the thorax, and the abdomen. Head, thorax, abdomen. Last time we also talked about some details of an insect, like eyes, antennas, legs, and sometimes wings. Today we're going to take the same subject of an insect and create an artwork by cutting and gluing paper. We're going to be experimenting with attaching paper, and I want you to always remember that you are an artist. I'll show you some ideas, but I want you to come up with your own insect. The materials you'll need are paper, colored paper, or any kind of recycled paper that you might have at home, scissors, glue bottle or glue stick, and some markers to draw some details. You can pause this video as you gather those materials now, and then we'll get started. All right, artists, I hope you've gathered your materials. I have a glue bottle, but if you have a glue stick at home, that works as well. I have a pair of safety scissors, my markers, and then I have different types of paper that I gathered. Some of it was in the recycling. I have some construction paper, I have an old printout, I have an ad that I found in the mail, and then I have a notebook piece of paper, but you can use a plain piece of paper as well to glue everything down on. Okay, so here I'm going to glue everything down on this paper, but I kind of actually like the lines on this notebook piece of paper, so I'm going to use that as my base, or the paper that I'm going to glue everything down on. So remember, our insects have three main parts. They have a head, thorax, and abdomen. So I'm going to be cutting out some bigger shapes for the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. Now, when you're holding a pair of scissors, you know that you're holding it right if your thumb is in the small hole, and then you can try and fit all your other fingers into the larger hole. My fingers are a little bit bigger, so I can only fit 3 of my fingers, but some of you might be able to fit 4 of your fingers in there. That just helps you open and close your pair of scissors for when you are cutting. If I had it the other way, it would be kind of hard for me to even fall out of my hands. It would be hard for me to control it because it would not feel very comfortable. You know that you're holding your pair of scissors right if it feels comfortable to you. All right, so I'm going to cut out a big shape for my head. And notice that I cut it closer to the side. I'm not going to cut it right in the middle of my paper. I want to save some of this paper in case I want to use it later. All right, I think that's a good size for a head. My head. Let's see. Oh, I think I'll use this printout of some numbers for my body. So I'm cutting out a big shape. And this shape doesn't have to have a name. Do I like this side or do I like this side? My daughter drew on this side. I think I'll make it more round. And actually I like the number side. And then I have my head, my thorax, and I need my abdomen, my last big piece for my insect's body. I'm checking to see that I'm holding my scissors correctly. I know that I am because it feels comfortable. There. I have 3 large shapes. Now I can kind of arrange them. Maybe I want this one on top, or do I want the head on top? So after you cut out your 3 main shapes, play around with them and decide which one you're going to glue on top of the others. I think I'll do this one on top like that. So before I glued them down, I moved them around a little bit. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now I'm ready to glue this piece down. If I'm using a glue bottle, you're going to turn the top or the cap, and then I'm going to flip it upside down, and when I'm gluing down, let's see, I'm thinking what's going to be in the bottom. The yellow piece looks like it's going to be in the bottom, so that's what I'm going to glue first. So I'm going to move those two other pieces aside a little bit. Turn this piece over, and I am going to just put some dots down for my glue. I don't need a lot of glue because if I put too much glue, it's going to take a long time to dry, and a little bit of glue goes a long way. I've heard some teachers use this phrase, just a dot, not a lot. And I use just a couple of dots. Okay? I'm turning my abdomen around. Notice that I don't have glue coming out from the sides. My fingers are still clean. I gave enough space between the glue and the edge of the paper so I don't have a messy piece of paper on my hands. I think I'm going to cut this part a little bit smaller. The special thing about being an artist is that you can make changes along the way, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm making a few changes while I'm working. All right, I like that piece right there. Flip it over, just a dot, not a lot. Again, notice that I'm gluing it down, not right on the edge. I'm leaving some space there. I don't want that glue to seep out from the sides and get all over my fingers. Also notice that I'm putting my glue bottle right down on the paper. It's touching the paper when I'm putting my dots down. I don't want to hold it up high and hope that it lands on my paper. That's going to create a mess for me. So I'm going to flip it around. Once again, I know that I have my dots in a good place because my fingers are not wet. Oh, a little bit right there. And you know what? That's okay, because part of art is learning as you go along, making some mistakes and learning from your mistakes. So I noticed that I put a little bit too much glue on the side there. I got on my fingers. All right, my last piece that's going on top is my head. Just a dot, not a lot. Now I'm only going to put a few dots because I learned from my last mistake, or when I put down the thorax, it got a little bit of glue on my fingers. All right, here's my head. I'm just going to press down that glue. And I have my head, thorax, and abdomen. Now I'm going to think of some details. Oh, I think I'm going to use this ad, and I'm going to cut, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut out some wings. These are going to be my wings. And this is where the fun part comes with experimenting. I'm going to try something, see if it works. If I fold this in half, and then I might need to draw my shape first so I have something to follow. I'm going to make wings. I'm going to draw kind of like I don't know what shape that is, like an oval with a line at the bottom. It's folded. Now I wonder what's going to happen if it's folded, but I'm cutting through two pieces of paper. Look, I made two of the same shapes. I did that by folding the piece of paper and then cutting through both sheets. Now these can be the wings, but I kind of want my wings to stand up. I wonder if there's a way that I can make the wings stand up. I wonder if I fold part of this, and then if I put the glue on the tab that's sticking up, maybe I can make the wings stay up like that. Oh, we did something like that in another project with our line sculptures, remember? All right, so I folded part of the paper. I'm going to put two dots, just a dot, not a lot. If you're using a glue stick, you'll probably just put a line there. And now I'm going to hold that part down. Ooh, now look like the wings can actually fly and move up and down. Let's see if you can see that better. There we go. I'll do the same thing to the other side. Oh yeah, look at that. Now I have wings that can flap. I need some details. Let's see. I'm going to draw a face. This looks like I'm looking on top of my insect. Maybe some of you are looking in front of your insect. So I'm going to draw my face looking that way, my insect's face. I think I'll do some eyes. So she's looking out that way. This is on top of her body. Maybe I'll take some of this blue paper I have left here, cut some legs out of it. Oh, I think I have an idea. I learned that I can make the same shape by folding a piece of paper. Now, insects have 6 legs, so if I fold this paper like this, and if I cut out 1, so this is folded. I got 2 legs so far. 2, 3 cuts, but look, I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 legs. I made 6 legs by folding a piece of paper, and they're all shaped the same, or close to the same. So I'll take my legs and I'll glue them all down. I'm going to open up my wings, and just a dot, not a lot. I'm putting some glue dots down. This leg will go here. Another leg can go here. 2 legs connected to the thorax. I think my last leg will be connected to the abdomen. And remember, just a little bit of glue. When it dries, it's going to become really strong. It might not be so strong while it's wet. So if it's still wet and you try and pull it off, it will probably come off. But once it's dried, it will not come off. Just a dot, not a lot. I probably don't even need to put 3 dots. I can probably just do 2 dots. I'm putting this leg down here. All right, this leg right here is kind of hidden. I wish I would have put it down here, but it's already glued down. And you know what? That's a mistake that I'm just going to keep on my artwork. All right, just a dot, not a lot. And I learned from my mistake over here that the wings covered that second leg. So actually I'm going to have this leg come out a little bit more. Oop. It's still wet. And I moved it a little bit, but that's okay. Remember, we learn from our mistakes. All right, and then I kind of like the leg going this way more than going that way. But I do want it to look like it's the same, so I'm making a choice right now. That's part of art. We make choices as we create. I'm just going to go with that since I did that for the first one. All right, more details. I think I'll make, actually I changed my mind. And that happens too. While we're creating, we might change our mind. I was going to cut out antennas, but then I realized I'm using purple paper. And instead, I'll use some more of this recycled paper. And I'm going to use my folding technique. So I'm going to fold it. Actually, I'm going to use this picture here to fold it. It has lots of colors. Folding it, and I'm just going to cut one line. Oh, but look, it was folded, so I'm going to cut where I folded it to make 2. And now that's going to be my antennas right there. Just a dot, not a lot. I wonder if I can curl these. I'm going to use, oh look, I can curl them. I don't know if you can see that from this camera. So I'm experimenting and I made my antenna curl a little bit. Just a dot, not a lot. Holding it down. And to make it curl, I just kind of rolled. Let's see if you can see that. I rolled it a little bit. I could even use a pencil to roll it, but and it stayed like that. That's cool. All right, let's use our markers and color in some details. Alright, that's my paper collage insect with wings that can flap up and down. I'm all done. Now boys and girls, when you're all done with an art project, you have to be in charge of putting away your supplies. So remember where you got all of your markers and please put them back. And your scissors and glue sticks, make sure they have a home to go to. We don't want to leave those things out. Now something else we need to make sure that we put away is look at all of this paper scrap I have from my art project. I don't want to leave that out. As students now that go to school, we have to help throw away and recycle things in the right place. So if you know where the recycling bin is in your house or the trash bin, make sure that if you have scraps of paper like this that you know you're not going to use again, to throw it away and keep your space nice and neat. I hope you enjoyed our art project today. Make sure you take a picture on Seesaw, and I'll see you next time, friends.